what are your expectations of the tour? You've done live ones before.
Yeah.
But these are monster rooms.
Yeah. I mean, just really looking forward to it. Like the ones we did at South Bank Centre, the audience has become another kind of guest or person on the podcast. It's like an entity that can respond to the guests' choices. So I think we had Izzy Sooty choose Thai red curry. And then we got to see in the audience, like, who prefers Thai red curry, who prefers Thai green curry, and all that stuff, which I love. Like, so many people, I guess it's very easy to make fun of podcasts and how, like, you know, just talking about trivial shit like it's important. I love talking about trivial shit like it's important. And I love that, like, especially with food. And it's great to have a room full of people who also just enjoy. And they know it's not just trivial, it is important. And Thai green curry is better than Thai red curry. But then Thai red curry with duck, actually, that is better. I would rather have a Thai red curry with duck than Thai green curry. And then you get to think about food. So, like, and they'll boo other people's choices if they don't like a certain choice, or they'll applaud it. And that was really fun on South Bank. So I'm looking forward to that on the tour, and having, like, getting those reactions live to people's food choices and opinions on food.
I think an element of this conversation will, because of the nature of the show, because of Heckler's Welcome, which I saw last night, and obviously loved, and we talked about that. We'll talk more about it. That's me doing a podcast thing, so it doesn't look like I'm going Heckler's Welcome.
Yeah.
I'm also leaning forwards more. So I'm trying to sort of notice myself doing kind of unnatural things that I'm doing, because I'm, you know, obviously hundreds and hundreds of hours of interview experience, far less of it in front of the camera. So I'm like,
sure.
God, I mean, it's self-consciously annoying.
But also, like, we're both people who will self-analyse out loud.
Christ on a bike.
As is proven by our text yesterday on our WhatsApp, when both of us noticed the other was typing, so then wrote about how the other was typing, sent that at the same time. It was really
great.
We're both doing this kind of like, I'm going to go on meta on the fact that the other person's typing, but we were both doing it. Oh, God.
And you said, what did you say?
I think I said, Jesus Christ, or fuck's sake. I was like, oh, man.
Easy, lads. It was one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, come on, lads.
It was a very beautiful moment. What I was going to say was, an element of this interview will cover the fact of why you do stand-up, or why you still do stand-up, and your relationship to it. If the previous show was kind of therapy inflected, it was a sort of an emotional journey and a response to a therapeutic journey. This show is sort of, I think, in some ways, a sort of a triumphant, it's like a celebration of if not a conclusion of a therapy journey, then certainly of having learned some fucking great stuff about yourself, accepted it, and felt good about it. One of the questions, I've got a ton of audience questions for later on, and one of them, or a couple of them, are to do with this idea of, like, if he hates stand-up so much, why does he still do it? Which I'm sure you've fielded before, and we can talk about that, but it just occurs to me while we're on Off Menu, that more than most things, I mean, more than your existing body of work, your books, all the rest of it, Off Menu sort of gives you the opportunity to perform on your own terms with no pressure, without having to write anything. It's one of those perfect kind of podcast systems where you're like, oh, the fact that has been massively successful out of, I don't know, other podcasts or stuff you've tried, the fact that has become like a global phenomenon. Presumably, were you want to give yourself a break from stand-up, you could just go, I could just be the Off Menu guy forever, and it would be incredible. Yeah. And you'd be loaded as fuck, your words. Loaded to fuck, your words. I remember, I enjoyed that. And you'd be able to perform with your friend in front of audiences who cherish you, and not prepare anything and not feel bad. And presumably, as we've said, there's no downside of any of that. Mm-hmm. So it's just quite interesting to me that, like, if whoever comedian was here and it seemed like, oh, they've got a complicated relationship with stand-up, and one of the questions is, maybe I don't want to do it anymore, you more than most have got, like, you could literally just do that instead.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that, like, definitely realised writing and performing this show was, like, this isn't, I don't want them to think that there are any stakes here, really, because there aren't anymore. Like, so I don't want them to feel bad for me or anything like that. It's just, this is about, right, I've got to be better and improve and stop being a dick, because I can just stop doing this whenever I want, to stop whinging about it, because I am so lucky with this podcast now, and that, you know, there's loads of things that have to align for that to happen, and like a huge one is the people you do it with, and like, you know, just incredibly lucky that Ed and Ben are like so on it, and you know, I'm probably the worst when it comes to, you know, reading the emails and actually knowing what we're doing. And yeah, I mean, it does mean that we get to be funny on our own terms, talk about something we really like. Like every day there'll be something, like me and you were talking about coffee before this and how much I love coffee at the minute. And when I am thinking about that sort of stuff in my day-to-day life, I kind of think, oh, how lucky I am that I get to do something about food that celebrates that part of my personality in my life and that passion. And I get to sit down with like my friend who I, you know, connect with over food the most, more than anyone, and get to talk about it with him and different guests, and it just feels, yeah, ridiculously fortunate. And with that first episode, that we did just land on a whole bunch of things that have stuck, and that's still part of the podcast. So like, yeah, like you do think, okay, that's there now, and while that continues to be there, because who knows, you know, it might not last forever. It might be more short-lived than we want it to be. You just don't know. But at the minute, it means that with anything else, I can just choose if I want to do it or not, and I don't have to go, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll be on that show, I'll do that thing.